Welcome to Joshua Tree Reptile Haven, Sanctuary Session number 2. We're starting in Romeo's pen, and that's for good reason. We were not able to make his video yet, so we want to give you guys an update.
We took Romeo to the vet, as most of you know, and had some x-rays done on Romeo, which revealed that his spinal cord is, I would say, bent.
Yeah, deformed.
It basically goes up and then does a complete 90-degree angle. However, doctor did evaluate him closely and come to the conclusion that none of his organs or spine are being compressed, and he is not in any danger as far as the way that his shell has been compressed. Fortunately, he is doing very well, walking very well, eating very well, pooping very well. He does not seem to have any ailments. I mean, he's a healthy little guy.
Yeah.
By the grace of God, he is a healthy little guy, and we are ecstatic over that.
Which the doctor said if he would have seen the x-ray first, he would not have thought that.
Yeah. He could not believe that Romeo was in the health and condition that he's in by the view of the x-ray.
Right.
So we are very grateful, and we are very excited for Romeo. He will not grow very much more, if at all. He has surpassed his time and period of growth, unfortunately.
Which is a good thing.
But that's a good thing. He's a handsome little dude.
The vet said that if he grew more, it could present more problems.
Yeah. And the vet also mentioned that he was very thankful that Romeo was a male and not a female, because had he been a female, she would produce eggs and likely become egg-bound, and it would have killed her. So we're grateful in all aspects of Romeo's story and his outcome, and he is here.
If he was a Juliet, he wouldn't be here.
Exactly, but he's not. He's
a
Romeo. So he's doing very well, guys, and we're very happy for him. We're very thankful that we were able to rescue him, and he's a good boy. He's a sweetheart.
Yeah. So we were talking, what we'd like to do in the sanctuary sessions is share the stories of tortoises that we were just too busy. So for those of you that follow the channel or look at the channel, we have more videos we have not made than videos we have made.
So anything that we do involve filming of it. However,
everything.
Yeah. So every rescue, all of that. But time does not permit editing. So I take that back. Dana does all the editing, and he's very good at it.
Well, we don't want to use AI. Everybody tells us, use AI, use AI.
We don't want to do that. We want it to be natural and true and real. So he does all the editing, and because of everything that we have going on in the care of the tortoises and the turtles here in our sanctuary, time does not always permit getting those videos out. So we'll use these sessions to be able to introduce you to some tortoises that have recently come in, we should say in the last 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
And that we didn't ever get to get the videos out for. Matter of fact, you guys had just recently saw a little video of Leo. Leo is so precious. Oh, he just has my heart. But he was actually rescued about a month and a half or so ago. So he was not one that was just rescued this last week, but we did want to take the time to introduce him because he is a little sweetheart.
And to give you an example of how busy we've become, today we're going to say is the start of a new week. The past 7 days, we've driven 3,400 miles.
All thanks to Jim.
Well, and there was some of those miles that were put on our car because the van was being used.
Yes.
So not every mile was on the van, but that's how many miles we were driven. This morning, we had no idea until this morning at 9 o'clock. We have 800 miles to drive in the next 2 days for vet visits.
Mm-hmm. Which will include vet bills.
Yeah, you can see where my mind is. But that doesn't stop us from taking them.
No.
We have a tortoise that we recently got in the person that had cancer and has cancer again.
Yes, you guys saw the video where Dana was petting Milton.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that tortoise. But we sent pictures this morning to the vet, and he said bring him in first thing tomorrow morning. We don't know the extent of the surgery that's going to happen, but we do know anesthetized, knocked out,
Yes.
however you want to put it.
There's too much going on for the doc to be able to evaluate him because the tortoise is going to pull and suck his head in and so forth. So he is going to put him under so that he can fully evaluate him safely.
Yeah, and then we can, and you'll see here just shortly in this video, we're going to show him.
And you'll see why.
You'll see why, yeah. And then yesterday, we got a call. So yesterday morning, Sunday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, the phone rings. And I say the phone, the rescue phone. The rescue phone rings, and both of us look at each other like, already 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Well, it was someone in Yucca Valley? No. Morongo Valley. So we just released a short this morning, Lost Boy is the name of the song to the short. But we released that short this morning. That was that rescue. Yeah. So yesterday we had the boys come yesterday that you guys know. From Camp Owen, the correctional facility that came yesterday morning. And then after they were done here and left, then I got in the van and drove to Morongo Valley to get the desert tortoise. And the reason why is because he had found the desert tortoise at 8:30 at night on his back patio, dying, it looked like. It is a very, very young,
tiny. He's a very tiny little guy.
Yeah, we can put the video link in the description of the short. You can see how small he is. But there was no time to figure out, well, who's going to help, who's going to do. It had to be done now. And as of right now, that tortoise is still alive. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not a guarantee with babies like that, especially when they're found in the shape and the way that this one was. It's not a guarantee. That, they're very, very, as any baby is, very, very fragile and precious.
Yes.
So there wasn't a question of anything.
No. It was.
So
we were called, and we have the ability to help and the knowledge to help. So that's exactly what we did, and that's exactly what we're doing. Dana and I were talking earlier today, and there are quirks within the other organizations that are around that do similar to what we do. However, there is not. It's not just all of what Dana and I can do with our organization. There are more tortoises that need help than any organization can fulfill at this point. If we all came together, there are more tortoises than we all could help. So we want to encourage, if there's any organizations that are watching us on our YouTube, we want to invite you to contact us and collaborate with us to help in this situation of so many tortoises, whether it be sulcatas or it be desert tortoises or it be Russians or leopards or whatever the species is, to help in getting the help and the care that these tortoises need and their forever homes, whether it's in a sanctuary or if it's with a private resident.
So should we tell them the phone call we got this morning?
Yeah.
As an example of this, we have made some strong statements about organizations regarding the desert tortoise.
And these organizations know exactly who they are, so we don't have to mention them by name.
They actually called us this morning to take 2 more sulcatas from them.
Yeah.
Not just from somebody
member of the organization did.
A member.
They're not coming from that organization. They're actually coming from a member of that organization that they are her personal tortoises.
Yes. So we're trusted enough to take care of their own personal tortoise. Perfect way to frame this.
Yes.
We can take care of their personal tortoises, but no, we're on a list of not being able to rescue any or something, or whatever it is.
Yeah, but we're done with that because we are doing exactly what we can do, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are more tortoises in this country than organizations could even possibly help. So we're going to help as many as we possibly can. And we encourage every other organization to help as many as they can as well. It's like an epidemic or a pandemic. Which one would you call it?
Well, isn't pandemic across
It's like,
nations, like across the oceans and stuff? Is
yeah,
a pandemic?
in the world.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So it's more just the United States. Well, I guess there's tortoises
Well, no,
everywhere.
there's tortoises everywhere. But
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, we can't help them when they're overseas.
I just pandemic, I think coronavirus.
Yeah, me too.
No, so we're just going to say it's
Anyway,
epidemic.
it's
an
a big,
epidemic.
Yeah, it's an epidemic. It's a big situation, you know, and we can't do it all on our own. And we don't want to do it all on our own. We want anybody and everybody to help in the situation. And we, as Joshua Tree Reptile Haven, would absolutely love each and every organization that is in the United States that takes either rescues or houses or whatever it may be, tortoises and turtles. Please reach out to us. We want your help. We want to be able to help. And what Dana and I are doing is focusing on a solution to the problem. We're not contributing to the problem. We are focused on a solution. But we can only have so much of that solution. It has to involve everybody else as well. So we invite all of you to come together with Joshua Tree Reptile Haven, with Dana and I, put our heads together and do anything and everything that we possibly can to help save tortoises and turtles.
I keep looking this way, and that's because the next place we're going is right there.
We're going to go over here to my little pretty.
Yeah, which is a perfect example of how easy it would be to work together. And
it's so easy.
So the tortoise that we're going to look at next was wandering around Joshua Tree.
Joshua Tree, California, which is an actual town.
Yes. We are not in Joshua Tree, but as all of you know, we have way more Joshua Trees than Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
And I actually said in the video that we made of, her name is Destiny, in the video we made of her, I said that she's always belonged in Joshua Tree, just not this one.
That one.
Yeah, it's because it's this one.
Yeah.
But she was wandering around, and the claim was that there's this giant tortoise wandering around. So everybody that is involved with tortoises was like, I don't want nothing to do with it because it's sulcata. Well, finally, after weeks, we were contacted and said, well, hold on. Okay, yes, we can help no matter what. Didn't matter what kind of tortoise it was. That didn't matter to us. But after speaking with them, can we get a picture?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The picture came back as a leopard tortoise, not a sulcata or even a desert tortoise. That's another thing that scares a lot of people off in other organizations, associations, that if it's a desert tortoise, they think legally they can't do anything. So they hesitate to rescue it. For instance, the baby that we just got. So this is an opportunity where organizations could have easily have worked together and solved the solution for this animal to still have a life.
There's more tortoises that need help than just one organization can handle.
And more species.
Period. It doesn't matter which species it is. It's all species.
So I'm going to turn the camera and let's go see Destiny.
Yeah.
We have the camera in a central location so that we can have shade over it.
Yeah, you're sitting there so proud.
Let's see Romeo.
You're sitting there so proud. You're just a handsome boy. Yes, you are.
As you can see, Romeo is very comfortable.
Precious
He's going to
boy.
get a heated wood house here.
Yes, they all are. Hi, my pretty. Hi. Is Mom's coming to see you?
This is Destiny.
Hey.
A very large leopard tortoise. And what had happened was she was wandering around the desert and seeing the people weren't tortoise people, didn't want to be tortoise people, and kind of just went on social media and said there's a giant tortoise. No responses. Tortoise disappeared for another couple weeks. Tortoise reappeared.
Oh, don't bite the mom.
And again, they reached out to organizations, posted pictures this time. And we looked at, or did not not posted pictures, just posted information. And they didn't even want to post. That's why one of the reasons why the video didn't get made is they didn't want any of their information. They didn't want the street they lived on. They didn't want the house they lived in to be in it. They didn't want the mountains that were in the background. They didn't want to have anything to, with the fact that, and not that they had stolen the tortoise or anything. They just did not want their information on the internet, and we had to respect
Which is
it.
understandable.
Yeah, which is understandable.
I mean,
so I ended up, it didn't get made. The video didn't get made. But so they didn't post pictures yet. They sent them to us after we responded. And another one of those, dropped everything. First thing in the morning, drove to Joshua Tree and picked her up, and her feet were full of cactus from wandering around the desert now we know at least several weeks, up to a month, that one family had seen her. So no telling how long. Instantly, when it's very hard to see size on the camera. Instantly, when I went into their backyard, and saw her. They were talking about that. Oh, nobody responded. Nobody responded, and I said, I don't think this tortoise is from here. I think what happened was this tortoise was stolen, could not be sold because she is a large breeding female, and leopard tortoises are very valuable. Could not be sold. People couldn't find somebody with the money because everybody thinks, even the sulcatas, they're worth hundreds or thousands of dollars.
yeah.
And they're only worth what somebody's willing to give you. So somebody might have bought a tortoise for $5,000, but that means you have to find another person that has $5,000 and wants to buy a tortoise. And the odds are you're not going to.
And what was really weird was the house that she walked up on was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody else around. There wasn't any other houses around. So how far she came, we have no idea. But she definitely didn't belong out there.
No, and she was thirsty, dehydrated, in terrible shape.
She was in terrible shape, but not as a whole, though. Her previous owner took very good care of her. I mean, she is absolutely gorgeous. Her shell has very minimal pyramiding. Her size shows that she was given the right foods and nutrition.
That's why I said that she most likely wasn't from there, because
Yeah.
whoever had this tortoise loved this tortoise.
Yeah.
And some people will say, oh, well, what if it was an old lady who's not on social media, or an old man, right? An old person. I say that just because they're more likely to not be on social media. It doesn't matter. Their grandkids are, or their kids are. If that tortoise had been in a family and grandma had it for 40 years and took care of it.
That was local to
Yeah, that was local.
Other
Everybody in the
people would-
family would be looking for it.
Yeah, other people would know that their neighbor had that tortoise or whatever it may be.
Something. And there was nothing.
Yeah, nobody responded for weeks.
Yeah.
And the family couldn't take care of her, so that's
Yeah,
why
they
we
just
got the call.
they had their own life, and they were not interested in becoming, and that is very understandable. We didn't.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot of dedication to these guys.
We appreciated the fact that they had called us.
Yeah. I'm pretty. Her name is Destiny, but I call her, I call all my girls pretty because they are. They're absolutely beautiful.
Huh.
But she's so sweet, and you can just tell that how loving she is, that somebody really took care of her. I mean, they really did. And it's sad, but...
And we still feel bad that somebody loved this tortoise. They just didn't vanish from the planet and the tortoise wandered off. Something happened. And we feel terrible. Because we love tortoises. So we know that...
Yeah, somebody's out there that loves this tortoise.
Still.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, it's getting
by
loud.
the good care that was given to her, I can't imagine that they don't. So.
And she's in... are you going to bite me?
But it could have been a different situation. It could have been somebody that had her for years because she's older. And it could have been very well that somebody passed away. And somehow she got out of where she was at and just roamed as far as she could.
Or maybe the family just let her go.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We have no idea. And
We've rescued...
It's unfortunate.
We've had half a dozen turtles and tortoises that have been found wandering in Joshua Tree and the surrounding area.
Yeah.
So there's the park, the
What
town.
about Ruby?
Yeah, the turtle.
The turtle.
But there's the park, the town that are called Joshua Tree. Then there's Yucca Valley, which is a town next to it. Last night I went to Morongo Valley, which is right near there.
Yeah.
So there's, when I say Joshua Tree, that's the
south
area.
of there.
We're gonna,
Watch
hey,
out, pretty.
we're
How
gonna get the
beautiful.
camera now and we're gonna move it and we're gonna show you guys Lumpy.
And we'll be able to let you know of just why he needs to go to the vet tomorrow. This is Lumpy. We've just had him, it's been a week now. Yeah, because
Yep.
it was last Sunday
Yep.
to that. So it's been a week. And as you can see, Lumpy is called Lumpy because Lumpy has big lumps under his chin. This is why he is going to the vet. Originally, the original owner, was here dropping them off, and she explained to us that he had been previously evaluated by 2 different vets.
Yes.
That said,
Sorry, I had to move the microphone because it's
That's
touching
okay.
the fence.
that said that he that those lumps were nothing to worry about, and that it was just keratin.
But they also said one other thing that was very alarming.
They said that that is just what makes him manly. No, that's not what makes him manly. There's not another. We have a ton of sulcata tortoises, males, and that is not normal. That is not something. The California Desert Tortoise, if you guys are familiar with them, they do have 2 nodules that sit underneath their chin,
The males.
which are their sexual glands that identify them as a male. And so, when they're big and bright, that's a manly desert tortoise. That's, a good, solid, older male.
And then during mating season, they swell up.
Yes. And so, but for a sulcata, that's not the case. And so Dana and I, immediately when we heard about the keratin being in the throat like that and under the chin, it didn't make very much sense to us. So,
Well, but it was also a red flag because if a vet says that that's a manly thing and it's not the right species of tortoise, then that means the vet doesn't know what they're talking about.
Right there. And so
it wasn't that we just didn't believe.
it was a little odd to us.
Oh, the wind.
That keratin would be in that location. Well, it
Yeah,
was for me anyway.
yes.
But I could be wrong. Neither one of us are a vet, so we haven't experienced something like that before. This is something that we are learning, which is great because we can provide information to everybody else out there in regards.
Some of you may remember Harold has a lump
Harold
too,
has,
which we've also already
3
been
little
talking to the vet
balls,
about.
on his.
But these are
chin.
different.
These are much different. These are much larger, like goiters.
Goiters.
Or goiters, is how you pronounce it. And it's concerning to us. So we've contacted our vet. We have the luxury of being able to provide images and videos to our vet for him to see if it's something that is immediate or can wait. And so we sent those over to him today, and he said to come in tomorrow morning. So Lumpy is going to be anesthetized and evaluated, and then we're going to get down to the bottom of it and see what exactly these are and why they're there, and if they need to be removed or whatever the doctor decides he needs to do.
So our concern is that as big as they are on the outside, how big are they on the inside? It's not like they're just flush with the jawbone and there's this gigantic bulge only underneath.
Right.
There has to be something pushing up inside.
Yeah.
So that was our first concern. And then Amanda noticed he was breathing funny. Now, tortoises breathe funny already anyways. Their nostrils, they're called nares. They don't have their own passageway like ours. They just go into the roof of their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Tortoises also do not have, like we do, a collapsible torso to squeeze the air in and out or expand to let the air in and out. Their shell prevents them from doing that. So the way they breathe is a lot different than the way that we breathe. They actually have to force the air in and out.
And you can probably see Lumpy, he's making that movement. You see his throat is going back and forth, up and down. It reminds me of like a toad. You see
Yes.
a toad there, and it's going in and out their
Which
chin.
is normal for tortoises to do sometimes.
Not this.
Constantly.
This is more of a
Animated
palpitation. Like, it's constant.
So much so that the kids that come from Camp Owen, which are familiar with the tortoises, as far as they know, we walk around, they know how to touch the tortoises, what's going on.
And they know who's who, so they realized off the bat that he was new.
Well, and one of the kids, young men, walked up and said, "Why is he breathing like that?" And so for us, that was really like, if they can notice and we think something's wrong,
then something's probably wrong.
Yeah. And so that was why we sent the images to the vet. And this morning we got the call that was like, okay, hey, first thing tomorrow morning.
And according to the previous owner, Lumpy's had these lumps for a long time. But we feel that they may be restricting his breathing a little bit. Not too much. I mean, obviously he's moving around and
you can see by the size that they are.
Yeah, they're very large. Something's going on there. We want to
They can't be comfortable. Is he in pain?
Yeah.
Or discomfort? What are they? So without having a vet that can tell you what species of tortoise it is, at least without having that, we don't feel comfortable. So he is going to the vet. And it just happens to be by no sheer coincidence. We say all the time, everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. We actually have vet appointments already on Wednesday. So tomorrow's Tuesday.
That were made a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. We have almost weekly vet visits now because we have so many tortoises and so many. And it's not just illness or sickness. There's tortoises that we want to get checked out. A perfect example is one of the tortoises that is going on Wednesday that had we got a week and a half ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a week and a half ago. Well, when we picked the tortoise up, the previous owner said that the tortoise had pneumonia, had went to the vet, got antibiotics, was better, but that tortoise had told them that that vet had told them that the tortoise had stones. And so it's something to pay attention to. Well, no, that is absolutely 100% not true. If your tortoise has stones, you better do something. If you don't, your tortoise is going to die. Now, it might not be right that second.
And we don't know if the tortoise actually does have stones or if that was another
incompetent vet.
Assumption from an incompetent vet. But it's something that needs to be looked at because there is treatment for that. And then if they are large enough, they need to be removed. So she does not show signs that would be familiar to us, that there's stones as far as them breaking up, like she's not passing chunks of stones. So it is concerning to us. So we're going to get her checked out just to make sure.
Let's say that your tortoise was here and 3 weeks or 3 months after your tortoise was here, the tortoise died. Would your first thought be, man, I didn't take very good of that care of that tortoise? No, your first thought would be, why didn't they do something?
Yeah.
Because that's our job. We sign up for that before we even get the tortoise in some cases.
And stones are something, I call it a silent killer of a tortoise. And the reason why is because they usually do not rear their ugly head until it's almost too late. So that's another reason why soaking your tortoise as much as you possibly can is very important, because that will help prevent those stones.
As well as exercise.
Yes, and as well as exercise.
So you can keep your tortoise in a box and hydrate it well, and it is still most likely going to develop stones. And the reason why is because it cannot exercise. Mm-hmm. That's why we wanted to make a video about making the pens, the enclosures. We just didn't have the time. Not the editing part. I just didn't have the time to set the camera up and set the shots up and then repeatedly shoot the shots to get what needed to be said. We had to build them.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't have time, and I felt terrible because we want to show people like this is how you do it. We just didn't have time. But
we truly want to show you guys
everything.
Everything. Like, I keep saying I need like a body cam or something to take around with me when I'm feeding and stuff, because I see the most amazing things on every single tortoise every single day. Like I see the coolest stuff, and I just want to share it all with you guys. But right now, that's just not something that we can do. But we try,
and we are trying to get staff for the first time ever.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a little bit of help going on that will alleviate some time to where we can focus on these type of things like editing and so forth to be able to share, because we think that it's important.
Yeah.
You know.
But the point that I was going to make was the enclosure size for this size tortoise is 24 feet by 32 feet. 8-foot measurements, because the lumber comes in 8-foot increments. That's why. So these boards are 8 feet or 16 feet. But that's the amount of space a tortoise this size needs in order to walk around. If you don't have that space for a tortoise, even the smaller sulcatas, they're going to develop stones. You keep them in an aquarium or something like that, no exercise, they're most likely going to get stones. And then you don't know until the tortoise is not eating and is essentially on death's door. And then everybody goes, oh, I got to figure out what's wrong. I got to figure out what's wrong. Well, by that point, it's literally too late. If the stone is too big, what they do is they flip the tortoise over, cut a square in the bottom of the tortoise, and then open the tortoise up to go in and take the stones out. If the stones are small enough, they go through the back leg. So what they do is knock the tortoise out, pull the leg all the way out and tie it up so it can't go back in, cut that open and go in that way. But now you can imagine there's a wound there where their leg goes in and out. So that has its own complications. So it's never a good solution.
There are some things, like if we always recommend that you pay attention to your tortoise's urates, which is the white substance that they pass. They should only be passing that maybe once or twice a week at the most. And it should be a creamy substance. It should be like mayonnaise, like whipped cream type, just like creamy. And that tells you your tortoise is well hydrated. But if you have a tortoise that produces urates that is kind of creamy, but then it has a little bit of grittiness to it, and I always recommend, and I know people might think it's gross, but I mean, these are our animals. We have to pay attention to this stuff. So
it's okay.
Touch the urates. Get a glove, whatever you got to do, touch the urates and move it around and see if you can feel if there are any, grittiness is just like gritty, kind of like sand, but big gritty is part of stone, is what that is. So those are things to pay attention to that can tell you a lot about your tortoise.
Kidney function, hydration.
Yeah, and it's very important. People say, oh, well, in the wild, they're not in the wild. Under no circumstances are any of these tortoises in the wild.
Are we ever going to treat them like they're in the wild?
Yeah, they are captive, okay? They're not in the wild. So what has been done is they've been captive bred. They've been sold, and their independence has been taken from them as far as natural setting in their natural habitat. And so we as humans now have to provide everything that they would naturally provide for themselves in the wild. And then on top of that, if the tortoises in the wild have little or no water, that doesn't mean that we have to provide them with little or no water. We are humans. We can provide that for them so that they don't have to go through any discomfort because they're not being soaked or hydrated properly.
So this tortoise is...
I just had to say that about the wild thing. Like, they're not in the wild.
This tortoise, where it lives in the wild now, is the southern edge of the Sahara Desert.
Yes.
The climate that they exist in right now is not the climate that they evolved in. Right now, it's drier than it was. 20 million years ago, it was a tropical rainforest.
Yeah.
I don't know if some of you may not know this, but the Sahara Desert was an ocean, and the sand of the Sahara Desert gets picked up in the wind, carried across the ocean, dropped in the rainforest, and it's basically the organic fertilizer of the rainforest is this ancient seabed, the desert. So when people say, oh, well, they're from the desert. They're from the desert right now, but 6,000 years ago, or 10,000, or 200,000, or a million, or whatever it is, that's not necessarily the environment they evolved in. So the wild is never, we'll be honest, whenever we hear the wild, we think not very educated, because the wild is not a very safe place or nice place, or a place that is one that you want your animal to live in.
Yeah, no, there's so much that's lacking in the wild. So,
and I don't mean that in a negative way.
You know,
I'm not saying stupid or something. I'm just saying uneducated, because the wild is not a.
It's not a paradise.
I've seen a video of a sulcata like this with an elephant stomping on it in the wild. We're going to recreate that in our backyard?
Yeah, no. Well, it's no different. It's like having a dog that's been bred, but you're going to treat it like it's a wild wolf or something. No, that's just not going to happen. Well, same thing with tortoises and turtles and any other animal that's captive.
So as you can see, Lumpy here, 1 week in, is very comfortable. He's not stressed out. You don't see scratch marks where he's trying to get out or something. This is up right now. This actually goes over him as shade. This afternoon I build his house, and the reason why, it's a good point we can make. We can never make plans because like a perfect example is this. We had this big plan of what we were going to do this morning. Well, that completely changed.
Right.
Lumber got delivered, couldn't go where it needed to go, so it has to be delivered now 400 feet away from where it's got to be. So now we're going to have to move it by hand.
Yeah.
But and then we got the call that he's going to go in tomorrow, so and possibly have surgery. We don't know yet. But whatever happens when he comes home, this can't be where he goes, in the dirt, especially if he has surgery. So he has to have a house that has a wood bottom that we can keep clean and keep him up out of the dirt, as well as he can be in a covered thing. Now the other boys, they are getting it, but as you can see, we build as fast as we can, accommodating the situation. MacGyver was right. If you never make a plan, nothing can go wrong. Everything's going great.
Yeah.
Huh, Lumpy?
So this is Lumpy, and he's going to go get checked out.
You might have been able to tell that from when we first came up and sat with him till now, he's completely relaxed and a lot more comfortable. Huh.
He's a sweet boy. Oh, Biggie. Yeah. Just a big boy.
And I don't know if the camera will be able to pick it up. Some of you guys may have noticed their eyes are wet. They are called the crying tortoise. He actually has a tear coming out of his eye right now.
It's what clears out their eyes from debris and sand and dirt and everything else.
It's natural.
Natural. And these guys were I don't know if we ever mentioned that, but when we got these three, they were housed together. And they were bullying each other. And so we immediately separated them because groups of males just don't work.
And we don't accept that.
No. And so when the males are by themselves, they are completely different tortoises. They're more personable, they're calm, they're sweet, so sweet.
Every single person that watches this video that has ever had to have an encounter with a bully, okay, you don't want to relive that encounter every minute of your life.
Yeah, right.
And so neither do they. And so we don't accept if there's one that's bullying any of the other ones, then we've got to do it. Like Tim and Harold, that's Tim is, and we feel being bullied, and so we've got to separate them.
Yeah.
Which that's what the lumber that was delivered this morning.
Yes.
That's what the lumber is for.
For Tim and Harold.
We've had their temporary oriented strand board OSB enclosure up for so long that it's time to put up a permanent and not a temporary. Since
Which
we're
is
going to do that.
great because now that we're doing it permanent, it's going to be separating the two.
Yes.
They will be next to each other though, but they do need to be separated. The males are just much happier by themselves. The girls, on the other hand, they're like girls. So all you ladies out there, the boys just don't know how to get along. They're not like us.
Right? We don't want to be like them.
No, but they are. They're much happier by themselves.
So, sanctuary session number 2
Wow.
in the books.
We hope you guys enjoyed it.
And we're just going to try to put these out as really not edited, just pretty much raw type videos. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Please do, because if you guys do really enjoy it, and I know you guys commented on the first one, which was so great, by the way, because Milton was just the cutest tortoise.
And we do read the comments. We just haven't had the time to answer the comments.
But we read them every day. We do read them. We even read them to each other. If somebody's looking at it and one of us is doing something else, we're telling the other one. So-and-so said, you know. So we share with each other, and so we're constantly paying attention. But if you guys do like it, you know, let us know, because we like it, because there's less editing involved.
More just tortoise.
Yeah, it's just more natural. It just gets to show you guys us and them.
So he's got his...
putting a scene into place, you know? It's just, this is real. This is what's going on. This is us and them. Huh, big boy.
So there was no way he would let me touch the lumps when we first...
Oh yeah, he's let me touch them quite a few times.
Well, not when we first walked up, he wouldn't. And now he has.
When I come in to feed, he always lets me touch his chin.
Well, until the next video.